our PhD proposal, why not we start with the motivational vibes? Okay, so
Okay, can see the slide already. Thank you.
are you okay so far? So good. Can
Can already, Prof. Nozaide, can see already the slide.
okay, good. Okay, okay, good. So now you know what the thing is that I hope that all of you need to have positive mind. Okay, all of you. Okay, since that in order to start your PhD or doing PhD, progress with PhD, definitely you need to have the motivational vibe. Definitely, the first thing is that you need to have a positive think. Okay, you need to think positive, and whatever you do right now, you know what? Don't ever start with something that negative. Okay, you may say that PhD is very difficult. It take a long journey, and someone said, you know what? It 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Forget about it. Don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry about that because for me, PhD is not difficult at all. Okay, the first thing is that you need to focus, disciplined, and then you know what? You just do it. Okay, don't extend your studies. Okay, and then always make so many excuses since that a PhD is very difficult. It's not like that. Okay, because for me, you know what? PhD very easy. As I mentioned over here, PhD is precious happiness degree. It's not permanent head damage. It's not permanent head damage because for me, you know what? PhD very easy to get. Very easy. 2 years, 3 years, you can get it. Because you know why? Because if you understand the meaning of PhD, then definitely you can achieve it. After this, I will explain to you the meaning of PhD. Okay. So then one thing is that you need to focus, must have, you need to open your mindset. Okay, open your mindset, and then always talk with your friends. You need to have community of PhD. Okay, means that you know what, you have a WhatsApp group, and sometimes don't be surprised. It's not just discussing about your PhD, but you just say hello to your friend. Sometimes something can cure your, I would say that you know what, your nervousness, your motivational things that you know what that hinder you to do your studies. So that's why, my friends, you need to work with your friends. You can work alone in a cave. Okay, talk to your supervisor. Okay, if they said that your supervisor is not really helping you, okay, talk with your co-supervisor. Okay, so that's why before you start your journey of your PhD, the first thing is that you need to consider how to choose your supervisors. Okay, so how to choose supervisors? Number one is that you need to take a look at his, I would say that, yes, credits from the, yes, website. Ask the current students, ask the former students. Okay, if they say that the faculties already appointed him or her as supervisor, and then you have no choice. Okay, take a look. After 2-3 months, if they say that not working, so what you need to do is that go and see him or her, discuss about the matter, and if they say that you cannot settle, go and see the deans. Dean of IFSIS, Dean of faculty, discuss about this, and then you need to ask, yes, someone to replace your supervisor. This is your PhD, my friend. This is your PhD. Okay, so that's why whatever it is, you know what, for me, you need to plan. Okay, PhD is not just okay. You feel that I want to do because my friend do it and my sibling do it. I want to join. No, it's not like that. Okay, you need to have plan, and then well planned means that you need to speak with your family, speak your boss, speak with your supervisors, and everything will settle if you plan. So that's the things. Okay, and for me, you know what? Don't put your life miserable. PhD is not like that. It's just, what I would say that, you need to consume a little bit of time for about, let's say, 3 months, the first 3 months, to focus the issues, to focus the problems. Okay? And then you can come up with the good titles. That's it. Okay, just 3 months. You do the preliminary studies. Okay, and afterward, I will say the smooth sailing, very easy. If you can see that you put everything correctly, okay, on the right spot, then definitely I would say you can manage and get your PhD within 2 years, 3 years, easily. Okay, so now what I want to say is, if you wake up early, in the morning, think positive. That's the thing that you need to do. Don't ever say PhD difficult. Okay? And then if they say that, if they say, oh no, PhD is difficult, you cannot complete within 2-3 years. For me, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay? So you are the person can achieve it. Okay? And again, one thing, if they say right now you are already 8 years, 7 years, don't care about it. It's only the numbers. Complete your studies, and then that's it. You get your PhD. Okay? Don't worry about major correction, because for me, you know what? Major, minor, we don't state it any, in your certification. We don't put that any. We don't call you as doctor of major correction. We don't call as you doctor of minor correction. What we have in your business card, definitely only doctor of someone. That's it, isn't it? Don't worry about major correction. Don't worry about minor correction. You complete your studies. That's it. Okay? And then, you know what? For those who are new and then don't know what to do, yes. First thing is that if someone asks you to do something, okay, prepare a PhD proposal. For me, it's simple. You need to have a good mindset. Happiness is number one. Okay? Don't ever say PhD difficult, PhD head damage, PhD head damage, but no at all. PhD is about precious happiness degree. Again, happiness degree. And you can do it, my friend. Try take a look at my friend over here, Colonel Dr. Ilyas. And this guy actually one example, I would say role model. 75 years old, retired army. I met this guy, last 5 years, I think, when I been invited as the invited speaker for FRGS applications. 3 times, I think, it was taken. And then afterward, Colonel Ilyas, approached me, and then he asked me to, move from this university to UITM. And alhamdulillah, after 2.5 years, just 2.5 years, this guy completed his study. No scholarship. Travel along, alone from Bukit Merah, Perak to Shah Alam. No complaint. Okay? No complaint at all. Okay, what happened? Yes, with a 75, this guy or a doctor. And you know what? Surprising is that right now, he is pursuing another PhD in law. I'm not joking. This is serious, my friend. How old are you, my friend? 45, 60, 30, 27. You see this guy, 75, can hold PhD and now do another one. And I challenge you, my friend. If this guy can do, definitely all of you can do. But please, no complaint. Just go for it. Positive thinking, open mind, and definitely you can get your PhD. Again, my friend, this guy also productive. Now, actually, you know what? He's producing a book and also already published 5 good journals, article journals. Okay, so that's why, my friends, Ilyas is the role model, Dr. Ilyas, and seriously, I salute to this guy. And with age 75, no excuse to say that I'm in a wrong track. Why I'm doing this? That's not the good, I would say that I was saying. But the thing is that, yes, this guy already did it. And then please take that as the role or examples. Okay? And don't say that I cannot do. And don't say that already, I already old. Don't say that I already 8 years. Or say that already 7 years. I do nothing. No. Okay? Just, I would say proceed. And then, do the rest. Just dua, make donations, tawakal, and that's it, inshallah. You may get your topi burger caps letter on the, yes, convocation ceremony. Okay, in the ceremony. Okay, please, my friend, don't ever say that you can do. You can do. Okay, so then, don't worry about myself. We talk about PhD now. If someone asks you about PhD, so probably you may think about, hey, what's the meaning of PhD? I just know about permanent head damage, permanent hair damage. That's it. No. It's doctor of philosophy. What's so different between PhD and Doctor of Business Administration, Doctor of what? PhD is totally 100% research. Okay? No need to attend any, that's the normal thing. No need to attend any classes, exactly. No syllabus for coursework. No examinations. It is just by research, 100%. So that's the meaning of PhD. Okay? So that's why, for me, you know what? In order to start your PhD, I would say that, you know what? You need to clarify, verify, justify the meaning of issue of the study. Find that first. What is the issue? And then after you verify issue, definitely you need to know what is the problems. Issue and problems. Very, very basic. That's why all of you, even though right now you are in the data collection space, phase, definitely in the Viva Boss exam, we will ask you this kind of questions. Can you tell us issue of your studies? Tell us problem of your studies. If you can clarify, justify, definitely you need to start again. Okay, so that's why when we talk about PhD, definitely what is your contributions? If you don't recognize issue and problems, you cannot come up with the contributions. Issue, problem, then what's next? Gaps. After gap, you have what? Objective. With the objective, you come up with the model, and that's we call the contributions. So they start with the issue, then problems, then we have gaps, and then objective, and then definitely this thing, contribution to new knowledge. So that's why, my friend, if someone asks you about new knowledge, probably understand that, you know what, very difficult to answer this. Okay, never mind. I want to see you whether you can answer my questions. Okay, go to the, you know, chat box, stop presenting. Okay, I want you to, you know what, tell me your contribution. Okay, write down. Then I will discuss. My friend, please participate. And then afterwards, I will respond to your answer. Okay, extended model. Ani said. Others, please. So this is my style of teaching. Instrument development. Okay, what's next? Theoretical framework. Hidayu said theoretical framework. Developing guideline. Okay, good. Curriculum future, law reform, new algorithm. Okay. Framework, digital improvement. Yes, good, good. Go ahead, go ahead. I'll give you 1 more minute. Go ahead. Yes, developing rubric, assessment, extension, Sharia guideline. Okay, I think that's it. Now we go back to the slide. And then I will respond to your yes answers. Okay, wait there. Go back to presentation. And then I share this one. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, if the examiner will ask you these questions. Can you tell us contribution of new knowledge from your PhD? And definitely, for those who are not really clear what you are doing, it's very difficult to answer this. And you know what? Based on your answer from this, definitely the examiner will have some ideas whether you are really capable to get PhD or not. Okay. The thing is that I will say, what is your contribution? The lowest level that you can contribute from your PhD, definitely number 1 is the model. The model, you may say the theoretical model, you say the research model, whatever, formula, okay, that we call that model. The second layer, we call that theory. The highest level, definitely law, LAW, law. So in terms of universal, in terms of comprehensiveness, okay, I would say that law is very, very high in terms of universal and comprehensiveness and complex. So that's, we call that, you know what? Law. Middle, we call that theory, and then the lower levels divided model. Okay. So now, how recognize that? Okay. How we can recognize that our studies is really, you know what, up to law, to model, theory, laws. Okay. Is, as I said to you, is depending on the comprehensiveness and universal. So if they say that your study will solve the whole problem of the system, the whole mankind, that's become a law. Okay, and then probably a few will actually can use your ideas and solve the problems, and definitely probably the model, and probably, you know what, someone can use it probably in the unit or departments of the organizations, and I would say that that's probably the model. So you see, you know, model, theory, and law is very different. Okay, but in terms of, I would say that solving the problem, and also contribution to the return on investment, quality of life, and definitely is different. I would say the level. Okay, so in order to know more about that, please read my book, Tip Lulus PhD, because I explained that in detail. If I want to discuss that, definitely we don't have time. Okay, 2 hours is not enough. For me, one whole day probably is suitable to discuss everything. Okay, so now I would say that in order to understand the meaning of contributions, it can be in terms of model, theory, and law. And one more thing, don't forget, is about techniques. Technique also is another, we call that, you know, what, contribution. Is a, what we call that, breakthrough of your studies. This is what we call that as a masterpiece, okay, that you contribute not only to the people, probably to animals, probably to any living things, that you actually can upgrade the happiness, harmonious, okay, of the living things. That also we call that the contributions. Okay, so my friend, please concentrate on this, because probably this is the main question that will become in the Viva Boss exam. They will ask you this kind of question: contributions. Okay, so what's next? And definitely, you know what? Okay, just someone will ask me a question like this: what's so different between normal research and PhD research? Okay, PhD focusing on the gaps of knowledge. Normal research not really focusing on the gaps of knowledge. So if your PhD do not discuss on gap of knowledge, definitely I would say that that's not PhD. Okay, so why we need to have gap of knowledge? Because actually it's discussing about the inconsistency of the existing findings. Okay, so we don't have the conclusions. So now is the time to come up with the good solution, conclusion. So that's why we have the, yes, gap of knowledge. So where we can get gap of knowledge? Later I will discuss about it. So that's why, my friends, whatever you do right now, you need to follow the procedures in order to find the gap of knowledge. So do we have the procedures? Why we have procedures? Because we want to make sure that your study is not like normal research. So this is PhD. You need to follow. Means that, you know what, as I mentioned in my previous talk about research. So as a researcher, you need to have 6 knowledge. Okay, you need to prepare with 6 knowledge. Number 1, you need to have the knowledge of what? Your field. The field of your study. Let's say that you want to study on the natural mineral water. So you are the expert of natural mineral water. So someone will ask you that kind of question, that you know about it from A to Z. So that we call that as expert in the field. Okay, so that's the focus of PhD. You need to have a kind of research, kind of knowledge. If someone in the Bible exam asks you, okay, you already understand the meaning of natural mineral water, Can you tell me where it come from? So why is happened? Okay, you need to answer this kind of questions. I don't want you to know what if I want to discuss. I want to share with you this. You know what that really happened. Okay, the practical examples of Viva Boss exam when I examined one student. Okay, and these are the things that I don't want you to do. Okay, so the title is more, I would say that on social media usage and the like the I think something like the performance of people, something like that. Okay, emotional performance. Okay, emotional performance. The usage of social media and emotional performance. Okay, so you know what? Okay, this is actually the knowledge in the field as well as the logic of the knowledge. Okay, just want to share with you before we go for the six knowledge is number one is the field of your study. Number two is the research knowledge. Number three is the, you call that research methodology. Number three is the interpretation and data analysis and data interpretations, and then writing skills, and then your communication skill, and lastly six is the logic. So you need to have six types of knowledge. Number one, again, I repeat, recap. Number one is your field of your study. Number two is about research methodology. I will call that research knowledge. And number three is data analysis and data interpretations. Number three, you need to know how to write, writing knowledge. And number five, definitely your communications knowledge. Okay, and then lastly, logic. And the example that I want to give you actually is the combinations of field of the knowledge of the field and knowledge of the logic. Okay, and you see, it's about social media usage and emotional, yes, emotional performance. Okay, when I check the works of this guy, definitely I would say that wow, a lot of things need to settle. But others say that it's okay. But for me, you know what? Yes, if you want to start your writing of a proposal, writing of your thesis, definitely when you discuss about social media usage, means that you need to start off social media usage. Don't ever start with other things. Let's say that you are discussing about Facebook, you discuss about Instagram, you discuss about other things. I want to discuss about social media because social media is a bunch of things. Discuss about social media. Okay? So that's why you need to focus. Start with social media until the end. But what happened in this, this is discuss about Facebook. So that's why for me, you know what? Social media is social media. Facebook is Facebook. And then I asked back the students, your study is about what? It's about social media or it's about Facebook? Okay? And he said that it's about social media. I asked again, majority of your writing is about Facebook. But now you said that you want to focus on social media. Oh, you say that again. Social media, no, sorry, Facebook is part of social media. But I said it's part. If they say that your study is about social media, definitely you need to discuss everything. Blogs, Insta, Twitter, or whatever. That call as social media, not just Facebook. So for me, you know what? You're already wrong. That's number one. Okay, if they say that you are focusing on Facebook, okay? So take a look at your methodology. Okay, go back to the methodology, go to the methodology. And then see the people, I mean the participant, we call the respondent. Okay, so I ask, who is your respondent? The students that age of 20 to 25. Okay, is it suitable? I ask, is it suitable with the 20 to 25, 25, I would say that years old? Is it suitable with those who are using Facebook? As the, you know what, researcher in this field, I found that, you know what, most of the users, the hardcore users, or majority of the users of Facebook age range of 35 and above. 35 and above. And you are now proposing 2025. So for me, it's not suitable at all. Okay? From social media, you said that Facebook. Okay, I maintain with that. Never mind. We change the title to the Facebook. And then now Facebook, we go to the methodology and then see that who they are. And definitely it's not suitable at all. Facebook in age of 20 to 25, not jive. So what you need to do right now? Okay, you say that Facebook, so you said that social media. Now you change to Facebook. Okay, I forgot to tell that, you know what? Before we go to the methodology, he asked me to change the title from social media to Facebook. Now Facebook, okay. So Facebook now is not jive with the respondent age of the respondents. So now what to do now? For me, the age of 2025, really good for Instagram user. Can we change the title again from social media to Facebook and now Instagram? I said, okay. Want to change is okay. But if you change the title, it will ruin everything again. Your objective also different. What again, sir? Yes. Instagram, not really focusing on the emotional performance. Facebook are. So now you see why I am now. What I try to say is, whatever you do for your title is not really fit with the content. So please, right now, you see, if you make a wrong step, definitely ruin everything, jeopardize of everything. Okay, you try to, save your title, and then, you know what, it's not really linked with what you wrote, okay, in the content of your PhD, and definitely ruin everything. So happened, you know what, when I one of the panel external examiner at UTM, okay, and this guy, you know what, very the partner, okay, internal examiners from Japan, okay. This study is about something about big data, analytic data, okay, analytics of big data, okay. So we have argument on that, okay, serious argument on that, and serious, this guy said, from my observation, when I read your studies, I can find something that interesting and difficult. So I stopped reading your thesis. You see why am I now? These senior professors stop reading thesis when the thesis have problem, especially in chapter 1. So that's why, my friend, your PhD, the heart of your PhD, from where? From chapter 1. If your chapter 1 really have problem, and we stop reading from that. Why? Because chapter 1 will reflect to whole chapters at the back. So we don't actually, you know what? The first thing we do is to check chapter 1. If chapter 1 have problem, we don't read chapter 2, 3, and the rest. If chapter 1 is good, definitely we will continue reading the other chapters. So my friend, again and again, for your proposal preparations, you need to prepare what chapters? Chapter 1, 2, and 3. About introduction, about review of literature, about methodology. So now, please, okay, after you listen to my, my talk today, and if inshallah, okay, please change your proposal. If let's say that is not fit, as I mentioned here, okay, don't be stubborn. Sorry to say, don't be stubborn. You come here to listen to me, and then I try my best to help. So please, open your mind. And then, you know what, if let's say that you have problems, really bad, very, I would say that big problem with your proposal that you already, I would say that, prepared, and definitely you need to change it. Okay, whatever it is, straight to say it, please open your mind and then move on. Move on is very important. Okay, please, my friend, any questions so far? Any questions so far from the yes, from the floor, please? I give you 2 minutes to ask me any questions that regards to contributions and following research procedures. Any questions, please? No questions? Hello? No questions? Anyone? Okay. So I will continue with solve problems. I will ask you in the Viva Boss exam, and others also will ask the questions, okay, about whether your studies solve the problems. Why we do research? Why do PhD? Because we want to solve the current problems or the existing problems. Because problems occurs. Where is it? In the industry, in the community, in the government sectors. So definitely, you as the researcher need to find a model, a formula that can solve that kind of problems. And definitely, it will reflect directly to improve return on investment and quality of life. So that's why right now in US and Western countries, if you ask about PhD, at the end of their thesis, they will include the information about return on investment. Okay? Because for me, you know what? If you do research, so what do you do? It's not just the ideas. Yeah? It's about practicality that can help people to get more better. Happiness, that's another thing. Quality of life. So you need to have that kind, we call that focus, or we call that, you know what, objective, okay? At the end, you know what, of your studies, hopefully that your model is workable and then can improve return investment and quality of life. So that now is we call that the training. The training of doing PhD. It's not just solving kind of problem and then that's it. Okay? I learned from my teachers, my gurus, okay? Prof. Chaco. He's actually graduated from Princeton. Huh? Actually, he just told us, you know what? PhD is about return investment, okay? And I add in quality of life. It's not just dollars and cents. But now we are talking about ethics, okay? We talk about values. So that's about PhD, okay? Try to imagine last time, you know what? If someone, do you know Ibn Sina? How many of you know about Ibn Sina? One of the scholars that, you know, very bright scholars that introduced views, okay? And also mathematicians and also ulama. And this guy, you know what, seriously, wow. I would say that, wow, in terms of contributions, okay? And you know, one day he managed to come up with one thing that very huge. But suddenly, you know what? Suddenly, he stopped his research. Okay? Closed the case. And then after a few decades, one guy with brilliant brains that called as Einstein opened up the, yeah, Ibn Sina research. Okay? And you know what? With the formulas of E equal to MC squared. It's about what? Isotope. Ibn Sina already, I would say that discovered isotope. And then, you know what? While studying on that, and then he closed suddenly. We don't know why. Okay? And then now we know when Einstein, yes, reopened the isotope studies, see what happened. Nuclear bomb. So that's why Ibn Sina already knows in the future, if he continues or proceed with his studies, what will happen to the, yes, human life. It's about quality of life. Okay, he stopped that, and because of the ethics, he stopped all his work on the isotope. And you see what happened at the end of his life. Einstein, you know what, sorry, say sorry to us that, you know what, sorry about this. And, you know, because of nuclear, then becoming something that, for, you see, the consequences. Okay, so why, you know what, we need to follow the procedures is because, number one, yes, again, we want to make sure that your findings is good, and then following the ethics, you know what, yes, ethics procedures or anything, that make our life is much better, and then definitely can improve return on investment. So that's the meaning of PhD. I don't have time because, you know what, if I want to focus on that, on PhD, the meaning of PhD, it will take longer time. But now I think I need to stop here for PhD, the meaning of PhD. Okay? And then, you know what, Okay, before we go further on that, I just want to ask you, a few of you, okay, we stop there here, okay, we stop here and show, okay, sorry, and show, we go to the, sorry, okay, now, stop presenting. I want you to tell me, all of you, please share with the chat box. Tell me, can you tell me type of your research? Share with me. And then share with me issue of the study, and then problems. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. All of you need to tell me type of your research, issue, and problem. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Okay? Yes? Please, all of you, share your answer with us, because I will respond to your answer, issue, problems, and type of your research. Anyone? Yasmin? Norma? Hafiz? You already answer? Not many response. Please, because you know why? It's a time that we can actually discuss about this. It's very important, because in Bible boss exam or proposal defense, definitely we will ask you first question about, can you tell us type of your research, and then we will definitely go to the issue of the study and problem of the studies. Okay? Yes, thank you, all of you. Okay. Good, good. Noiza, good. Okay, applied. Okay, issue, mechanism, problem, information, higher governance, no is, virus. Okay, now, I think, you know what, it's a time to discuss this. Hopefully that, you know what, all of you can pay attention on this. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. Because you know why? If you make a mistake on this, definitely you cannot get your PhD, or you already, one is already one step of major corrections. Okay, please. Okay, now, if they say that, yes, I can see that a few of the answer already good and a few others not really good. Okay, so if they say that your answer, you know, if I ask you about type of research, okay, if type of research concerning on qualitative and quantitative, definitely that's wrong answer. That's a wrong answer. Okay, we ask you type of your research. You say that qualitative, quantitative. Definitely so wrong. Okay, Naim. Salah, Naim. Okay, Lufti, salah. Okay, Khadiza, okay, wrong. Okay, Nabila, okay. So that's why, my friends, if you say that your studies or type of our research concerning on qualitative, quantitative, that we call that as type of methodology. It's not type of research. Again, if you say qualitative, quantitative, mixed mode, whatever, that is considered as type of methodology. It's not type of research. Okay, so type of research comprise of, now in leisure, so popular, we call that as basic research or fundamental research. Basic research or fundamental research. I think you may heard about FRGS, LRGS, TRGS, isn't it? Okay, a research grant, okay, offered by KBT. So if you are preparing proposal research grant of FRGS, is about basic research. Okay, and another one very popular for PhD levels, it's an applied research, and applied research. And the third, we call that as translational, translate. Okay, so that's why for us, okay, as an examiner, we want you to know that type of research concept. There's many more, but we call it as a popular. Okay, and translational is not suitable for PhD level. So only left basic or fundamental and an applied research. So focus on this. Okay, now, if you ask me then, sir, can I choose an applied research or basic research? For me, it's not that answer. We cannot choose the studies of an applied or basic research. It's depending on the issue, problem, objective of the study. Okay, so that's why the key point is all of your studies here that bring up you to type of research is actually based on, I would say, that objective of your study. Objective of your study. Okay, objective come from where? From problem. Problem come from where? From the issue. But the key point is the objective of the study. Okay, so we have basic research, we have applied research. Okay, now, please focus. Okay, how to recognize that your study is basic or applied? Okay, it's based on the nature of your research. Okay, nature of your research. If your research concerning of, okay, number one, is about, okay, discovering. Okay, it's about discovering, formulating, modeling, characterizing. Okay, so all of this, okay, will suitable for basic research. Discovering, formulating, modeling, characterizing. Okay, all of this really good and suitable for basic research. So what is basic research? Basic research is from zero to something. You don't seen before, from zero to something. You don't see any handphone, but you are the inventor. You create the handphone. So now we can call also basic research as invention. Invention. From zero to something. You don't see it before, you create one. So that we call that basic research. It's about discovering. It's about modeling. It's about formulating. It's about characterizing. You see what I mean? Clear then? Yes, it's about that. So now, if let's say that your study is about, okay, examining, determining, okay, it's about impact, about influence, effect, okay, investigation, okay, whatever is this, relationship, association, that really suit with an applied research. Okay, clear then? And we call this also as innovation. Innovation. Clear then now? Okay, I will stop here and I will allow you to ask me any question. Please ask me a question. Any question from the floor, please? Sophia, Yasmin, Norma, Muhammad Faris, Amira also want to ask me question, please. Any question? Yes.
We read a few questions from the participant.
Yeah.
From the chat group.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Okay.
Can we use both? Later, I will explain Mama Fuan. Okay, Mama Fuan, I will explain that later. Okay, don't worry. But now we go one by one with basic research and applied research. So far, so good. Case study. Case study is different. Actually, you know, it's not type of research. Type of research is basic, applied, translational, and others. Later, case study is different. Okay, never mind. Actually, it's the parts of basic or and applied research. Parts of part of basic and applied. That we call that a case study. Okay. Any more questions from the floor? So far, so good? Clear then? Okay. I go back. So now it's not enough. It's not enough to understand the meaning. Okay. So if you see that, as I already gave you example of observing, determining, examining, whatever, that we call as the objective of the study. That objective of the study. Okay. I give you the hint and clue. For us as an examiner, title of your study actually is the objective of the study, the main objective of the study. The title of your study actually is the objective of the study. Okay? So then, you know what? So I already gave you the objective. Let's say the objective is, okay, determining, examining, impact, influence, whatever. That really sure I would say that an applied research, and is about characterizing, modeling, discovering. Okay, that really good for basic research. Okay, what's next? Already know about objective of the study. So what's next? It's about the research question. Research question. Research question for basic research. Okay, basic research will always deal with why and how. Again, for basic research or fundamental will deal with why and how. Not only why, not only how, but both. Why and how. Why is the basic questions. Einstein come out with the question of why. And how is to solve the why. Okay, why and how is the must. Must together, married together, and then it should good for basic research. And other than why, how and why and how, it really is suitable for an applied research. Okay, thus when whatever other than why and how will be good for an applied research. Okay, so then Shahikal, later I will discuss the assessment. Later, you must understand the meaning first. If you don't understand basic and applied, you don't understand. Okay, so that's why for me, first understand the type of research. Then you can get the ideas of assessment. Assessment is later. Yeah, later in chapter 3. Now we are to understand the meaning of PhD and research. Okay, so later. Better? No better. As I said to you, Shahikal, I don't say that you have the choice to choose basic or applied. It's not about that. Okay, again, I said to all of you, my friend, we do not have the choice of doing basic or applied. It's really depending on the nature of your research. Better or not better is not the answer. Okay, it's the purpose. Why are you doing that? If they say that your study is about modeling, formulating, discovering, characterizing, that really good for basic research. That's the SOP. Okay, again, basic is not better than applied. Applied is not better than basic because it's depending on the purpose or nature of the research. Clear then? Clear? Okay, hopefully that you understand what I mean. Okay, if they say Azlan, you want to hybrid, okay, means that you want to combine. Later I'll explain to you. Don't worry. Okay, so now we understand risk. You see, basic is different purpose, applied different purpose. Okay, two types, different purpose. Okay, so that's why we have basic and applied, different purpose. So to dig up, start from zero, that's suitable for basic research. If you already have something, you want to apply it, okay, used by people, then definitely applied research will be the suitable one. So you see what I mean is, you see, it's basic is about why and how. Other why and how will be belongs to an applied research. Okay, now what's next? Methodology. Okay, so methodology now is about this. Okay, so basic research will commonly use qualitative. However, for applied, we will use quantitative. You see, you said that about qualitative, quantitative, that's about methodology, type of methodology. Okay, then you see, qualitative, we suit with basic research, we suit with why and how. However, and applied, we're really good for quantitative, that discuss about examining, determining relationship. Okay, it's about that. Does, when, okay, that's for quantitative. Okay, so I don't want to discuss about qualitative, quantitative. I think you understand what I meant. Okay, so if they say that you want to combine, okay, with that, if they say that you want to combine between qualitative, quantitative, means that basic and applied research, it's okay. Okay, you can do that. Okay, if the nature of your research want you to do both, it's okay, but you need to consume more time. Okay, you need to consume more time. So what is the finding of basic? Finding of basic, I would say that prototype, theoretical framework, formula, that's we call that findings of basic. Okay, research. Or we call that another word as output. Okay, output for basic research. However, for applied research, you can come up with what? Outcome. Okay, or we call that not conceptual framework. You have that. So not theoretical framework. Theoretical framework is in basic research, but you test theoretical framework and conceptual framework later. I will explain that later. Then that's good for outcome for applied research. Okay. My supervisor, okay, did both. He said to me, Zaidi, you know what? I did qualitative and quantitative. Okay, but I need to prepare 2 theses and then presented at Harvard. You see what I meant? Yes. If you do both, the nature of your study asks you to do them, definitely you can. But if you ask me, can I concentrate on, no, let's say that basic research only, can I get a PhD? Yes. If let's say that you do applied research also, yes. Both of them can bring you to get your PhD. Don't worry. Okay. So then, you know what? If you want to combine both, also can. And sometimes, you know what? A few of us confused when your supervisor asks you to do triangulation, mixed mode. The triangulation, you know what? Sometimes, you know what? Can be misunderstood as mass, basic, and applied. That's so wrong. Okay, that's so wrong. Basic, mixed means sometimes, you know what? Between the basic research. Let's say that you need to handle focus group and also expert review. So that we call that the triangulation between qualitative method. Can. That we call that triangulation or mixed mode. Or also triangulation between quantitative. Instead of you have questionnaire, then you have interview. Also can. You see what I mean now? So don't confuse between triangulation, between mixed mode. Sometimes you understand the meaning of that. It can be within the, we call that the methodology, or between the methodology. Okay? So hopefully that, you know what, you can understand what I meant. But if let's say that you really insist to do both, but you need to take more times of study, okay? Let's say, I would say that instead of 4 years, you can complete your studies, but now you need to complete 4 years for basic research, 4 years for another applied research. So you have 8 years to complete your PhD. Also can. So it depends on you. So that's why, my friend, you know what? The choice is not really choice, but for me, it's the nature of your research. If they say that your research is concerning on, I would say that discovering, as I mentioned it before, or you're about relationship, you want to combine both. So definitely you need to do both. Okay? But if they say that it's only about discovering, modeling, okay, definitely you need to, do basic research only. Then you get your PhD, and then vice versa. Okay? So hopefully that, with my explanation, definitely you can understand the meaning of basic and applied research. So how to come up with the title of basic and applied? As I said it to you, you know what? I already mentioned it clearly. The title and the objective of the study definitely is the same thing. So if they say that your objective is to model, objective is to model, but the title you can start modeling something to something. Okay? Same but different forms. Okay? Same as also an applied research. And they say that your study is about relationship, to determine relationship. So now you say that you can put as to determine relationship. So determining relationship as your title. Okay? So Sharifah, don't confuse. What I'm to say is simple. Okay? I understand that a few of you will need to focus on triangulation. Triangulation means like this. Between quantitative, qualitative. That's we call triangulation. Or within quantitative. Have focus group, expert review, interview among, okay, them in the quantitative. So that's also we call that the triangulation of quantitative. Triangulation of qualitative. Okay, qualitative means that, you know what? You can, I say that like a focus group, like expert review, like interview, okay, like that. Okay, you can do that. Observations, okay, that is qualitative method. But you do all that. That we call that as also triangulation within the qualitative. Okay, and then if let's say you have quantitative, you do, let's say, interview also, you do also questionnaires, okay? So that also we call that triangulation within the quantitative, or between quantitative and qualitative. That's a triangulation. Okay, hopefully that you understand what I meant. Is it clear? And then, you know what? Like Patrick, okay, you said that partially. Yes, partially. I want to ask you then, why are you doing that? Okay, in Viva Boss exam, examiner will ask you back, why are you doing that? Why you put partially? Why you want to do whole set? Okay, so everything that you put in your thesis, you need to give a good reason, justify. If you're not justifying something, and we are, you know what, really in the, yes, I would say that you are in the deep trouble. Why? Because we don't understand. Okay, so please, my friend, okay, if you are writing something, okay, please put it clearly. Okay, does it mean complimenting prof? What's that mean? I don't understand. Siti Nur Fahana, I don't understand. Okay, I understand what you mean. Okay, Please, my friend, you know what? To understand, okay, this, for me, simple thing is that don't put so, you know what, I would say that complex. Just understand that type of research only comprise of, for your PhD, basic and applied. That's it. Okay? And then afterwards, yes.
Prof, sorry for interrupt.
Yeah.
So the participant need to see your face, yeah?
No need, it's okay.
Oh, no need.
Yeah, no need.
Okay.
Because, no need, because you cannot concentrate afterwards.
All right.
Okay? Yeah. So it's enough to hear my voice. Okay? So I'm quite energetic. And then, you know what, it's okay. Huh? So hopefully that, you know what, my friends, are you okay so far? That's what I want to know. Are you clear with that? Type of research, basic and applied, or fundamental? Clear then? Invention, innovation, clear then? Good. So that's the thing. So hopefully that, you know what, after this, you can test your supervisor. No, just kidding. Okay? So we go back to the slide. Okay, so we don't have time now. It's only left us 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Because I will stop at 11:45 for Q&A, and then afterwards, we will wrap up at 12. Okay? So we go back to the slide, and oh, not this one. Okay. Okay, present, Windows. This one, share. Okay, now, in order to prepare good proposal, we said that it will comprise of definitely your title. And don't worry about the title, because title is the last thing that you will do after you complete everything. Okay, and then don't forget about abstract. Okay, how to start writing or begin abstracts. Number one, you need to start about your main objective. Main objective. Main objective is very important, because objective will comprise of two: main objective and specific objective. And main objective actually the title of your study. Okay, and then methodology. Okay, you have main objective, you have the methodology, and then expected finding. Expected findings. So what do you expect from your findings? Okay, and then definitely do not forget expected. We call that your contributions or originality. Contributions or originality. So expected. What you can come from your studies. Okay, and lastly, definitely your expected practical implication. That's why, you know what, my serious, my idea is different, because for me it's more focused on the practicality. Okay, not just theoretical, it's about practicality. So mean at the end of your abstract, you need to insert your expected practical implications. Okay, after you discuss on main objective, methodology, findings, expected, we call that more contributions or originality, and then you have the expected, yes, practical implications. Done with that. And then afterward, the introductions. So if you say your title is about manager's performance, so you need to discuss your issue of the study, yes, about manager's performance. Okay, so I saw a few of you still struggling to understand the meaning of issue and problems. Okay, so that's why we cannot start your studies with problem. No, we cannot start our study with problems. That's so wrong. So that's why, my friend, if you are receiving the offer letters, and then you are very happy with the offer letters of, you know what, yeah, PhD level, so and so, and then I understand that you will grab your laptop and then you print out so many articles, and then come to the reading parts, you don't understand the articles, isn't it? And then you're happy with the title, everything, go, and everything, wow, I'm done with my title, I'm done with the problem, I'm done with everything. For me, it's not practical enough. So I need to do, the first step is that, you know what, yes, to get the idea is okay. Reading the articles, reading the menus, whatever. Okay, that's suitable in order to come up with the ideas. Ideas is okay, but don't actually happy with that kind of, we call that initiative. It's not enough. The first step you need to do after you get the ideas, you need to go to the field. Whether you can go to the industry, to the community, or to the, yes, government agencies. So that's your best to gather the information. Don't do anything, just to get ideas. Get ideas from the articles, yes, okay. Get ideas from newspapers, that's okay. Get the ideas from any readings that you actually discuss, whatever, that's okay. But to confirm the issue, the problems, must be from the field. So why I'm saying that? Because I already experienced so many, of students at the end, they are struggling to get the data, struggling to get the real data. Why? Because they're just referring to the articles that not from our soil. They want to collect data from Malaysia, but the articles totally discuss about America, about European countries, about Papua New Guinea, about Lesotho, about Guinea. Okay? And then definitely the issue and problem not really same as we have here in Malaysia. You want to collect data in Malaysia, must be the issue and problem really suit in the soil of Malaysia. Clear what I mean? Yes. Yeah, if you say that you are international students, okay? You study the article from Malaysian perspective, but want to collect data in Saudi Arabia, in Bangladesh, in Pakistan. It's not suitable, my friend. So that's why sometimes, our students get problems. When come to the parts of getting data, the real data, they stop. Why? Issue and problem is not there. So that's why, my friends, it's good for you to begin your journey of your PhD by, yes, put the steps really, really seriously in the preliminary studies. Let's say 3 months. Concentrate on finding the issue and problems. Okay, issue is very important and problem also very important. Where to get this kind of information of issue and problems? Definitely from the right person. So who's the right person? So that's why I don't want to discuss this in detail. We don't have time. Okay, so that's, you see, all of my students already actually, discuss about issue and problem, right person. So alhamdulillah, they understand what I meant. So hopefully that all of you will start your journey of your PhD preparation, proposal PhD preparation, with issue and problem in the field of the study, not from the articles. After you confirm the issue, you confirm the problems, then definitely you can relate with the articles, with anything that you read before. Yes, support with that. That we call the academic works. Not enough just in issue and problem from the industry, not enough. Okay, you need to combine them. So you see, what I want to say is, if they say that you want to confirm your issue and problem is from the field. From where? From the industry, from the community, or from the government agency. What you read from the article is just expected issue, just expected problems. Don't confirm, yet confirm. So you need to confirm that. Okay? It's okay to read and then confirm to the, yes, industry, from the community, as well as the, yes, government agencies. Okay. So I want to, yes, discuss with you. We stop sharing there. Then, you know what? Can you tell me the issue and problems in the chat box? Please, I want you to share your answers. So this is very important. After you clear up your issue and problem, and definitely, inshallah, I will say that you are in the right track. Okay? You are in the right track. Okay, so that's why, please, share me your issue and problems. So what's the issue? What's the problem of your study?
If I may ask,
Yeah.
do we need to compare our problem with another country's problem? Say, if we want to look at a model from another country, what's happening here, which is not as good as what's happening in other countries. So is that necessary, or can we just go on dealing with our own problem?
Atika, where you want to collect the data?
Malaysia?
Definitely Malaysia is the grassroots
Then
of finding the data.
I don't
Yes.
have to compare.
Your study is about comparing?
I'm
The
not
objective
sure
of your
whether
study.
it will be enough if I don't compare.
That's why you cannot finish your study if you do that. Don't think about it. Okay?
Okay,
This is the thing that I
okay.
want to share with you, my friend. Okay? So that's
Okay.
why don't ever do something that beyond of your capability, Atifa. Okay? So what I want to
Correct.
say is just focus on your objective of the study, and that's it. Okay? And how to ensure that you are in the right track. Simple thing is that the gap of knowledge. Okay? Gap on the letter, I will discuss on that. Okay? So please, okay? Issue is lack of parental involvement. Problem, gaps of understanding of perception. Sorry, Sarifah, you already failed your PhD. Okay, anyone want to try? Want to try? Sorry, Sarifah, you already failed, but never mind. After this, I will give you the answer. Who want to try? Issue and problems. Critical or questionnaire defined. Muhammad Fuad, sorry, also failed. Safro, fairness, problem. Sorry, Safro. Poor language, Janaki, sorry, wrong. Farah. Wrong, Farah. Issue, river. Yes, Shah Haikal, you are in the right track. I think you are okay. It's about river, I think, pollution, and then problem law enforcement. Yeah, probably, yes. We discussed that later. Okay, and Zulzalika. Yes, correct, Zulika. Yeah, you are in the right track. Good. Iron Lady. Issue. No. Iron Lady, issue is okay. However, your problem is not problem. Hey, sorry. Yes. Iron Lady, you are correct. Sorry, you are correct. Okay. Lack of the sustainability problem. Yes, correct. Iron Lady, you are not right. Okay. Joseph. Sorry, Joseph. Problem is objective. You put to recognize that becoming objective. Okay. Visual propaganda is seen as evil. Sorry, that's not issue. That's different things. Nadira. Sorry, Nadira. The issue you're okay, but your problem is research question. What are the factors? That we call that research question. Okay. Janaki, language prophecy. Yes, correct. Problem, poor language. Correct. Janaki, you are now okay. Kuratul, both of them are problems. Issue. Congested in the head-on network. Heavy. Both of them also are problem, Linda. Nabila. Sorry, Nabila. That's wrong. So wrong, okay? Never mind. Now I tell you. Okay? So since that we don't have time. Okay, we don't have time, okay? So I go back to the slide. I will present. Okay, never mind. I will tell you, see, this is the problem of our students. They don't understand the meaning of issue. They don't understand the meaning of type of research. Okay, so that's why I actually one of the panel, okay, MQA panel, and then for PhD programs. And seriously, we got a problem of 80% of the students that don't really understand the meaning of this, and that's why they don't really perform in the writings of PhD thesis as well as the defending of Viva exam. Okay, so that's why really concerned about this. Okay, never mind. So I go there, this is one by one, and then after, you know what, I will show you the example because we don't have time. Okay, run against time right now. You see, in the proposal, definitely you have a title, we have the abstract, we have the introduction, we have the issue, problem statement, gap of knowledge, very, very important. I will show you how later, okay, how is it? And then objective, and then research questions, and then justifications, significance of study, scope of study, definitions, organization of thesis, and lastly, summary. So that's in chapter 1. Okay, in chapter 2, review of literature, you need to have literature search, you need to have synthesis, and then you have reporting, and then you have comparative, and then you have propositions. Okay, so that's for review of literature. And then in chapter 3, we have development of model or focus, framework or formula, data collection procedures, instrumentations, milestones, expected findings, references, and lastly, you may have resume. Okay, don't worry about this. Okay, I have another slide that can I show you. Okay, this one is not the things that I want to focus, but now we have another. Yeah, this one. Okay, so can you see the slide, the new slide? Can you see the new slide, my friends?
Yeah, nampak.
Okay, so this is only the example of the slide. Okay, I don't say that is a proposal, just ideas of preparing proposal. So if you see the title over here, what you may say, is it an applied research or basic research? Examining the relationship between intranet usage and managers' performance in maritime industries. What you say? Is it applied or basic research?
Applied.
Why you say that? Applied.
Because the word examining.
The relationship.
Okay, good. Because I think you can trace that from the wording of examining and a relationship. Definitely, you see that's very clear. You see, I presented this title, very simple title, but presented at Harvard and Cambridge. You see, so what I meant is, it's not really, you know what, you put something that complex and make people don't understand the title, it becoming something that voila, it's not like that. Okay, you know, people want to see that whether you are really clear, you know, about something that you want to achieve. Okay, now you see the title of that. I give you a chance to snap this, we call that slide, but I will not share you this slide. Okay, it's just for your own eyes. Okay, your own eyes. You can snap these slides, but you cannot share with your friends. It's just for your eyes. Okay, so examining the relationship between intranet usage and managers' performance in maritime industries. Very direct title. Okay, when I said about issue, this is about issue. It's about what, my friend? Okay, issue actually is the subject matter, the original thinking. So where it come from? Where the problem come from? The problem come from the issue. So the things that I want to discuss is about intranet usage and managers' performance in maritime industry. From where? You see, from the title. It's about what? Intranet usage and managers' performance. Okay, it's about that. So you see, we put that clearly here like this. Okay, so if you want to prepare the slide for your Bible Boss exam as well as the defend of proposal, you can put like this, issue like this. You see, intranet usage, managers' performance, clearly mentioned like that. So from where? From your title. Can you do that? Yes, inshallah, you can do that. Okay, so if someone asks you, hey, tell me about your studies, it's about what? It's about internet usage. It's about managers' performance. Okay, I put like this. Okay, so you see your friend at one corner and look very sad, you know, problematic. Hey, what happened to you? What's the problem? What's the things? Okay, and you said your friend said, oh, it's about my students. So that student referring to the issue of the study, and then come to the what's the problem with the students. Now you see what I meant now? If issue do not have negative statement, issue do not have negative statement. issue will contribute to the problems. So problem of the student is lazy, come late to the class, underperformance. So you see what I meant now. Okay, problem relates with the negative statement. Issue is the subject matter. Okay, so contributing to the problems. Okay, I hope that you understand what I meant. So far, so good. Okay, this is the title. So this is the issue, and you need to discuss the issue in the introductory section. Discuss in detail. If the title about intranet usage, discuss on intranet usage. Do not discuss on ICT. Do not discuss on internet. Do not discuss other things. Discuss on intranet usage. And also on manager's performance. Okay? Whatever it is. So that's we want you to do. Put in the introductory sections in your thesis as well as your proposal. What's next? So this is we call problems. Issue like this, problem like this. I say huge investment, low manager performance, low return investment. So you need to justify, clarify the figures. If low, what figures? You said that 3% from the average. So where you get the information of 3%, you need to mention it clearly. Okay, and then slow network, crash, whatever, resistant, blah, 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 blah. So everything that you put in the problem is really problem to the issue. Sometimes, you know what, I experiencing student give the issue and problem not related at all. Let's say the issue is about car. They say car. The issue is about car. Problems, economic downturn. So I try to understand how actually cars and economic downturn link, okay, together. So that's why, please, my friend, whatever you put as issue and problem must be, we call that logic and have a link. Okay, huge investment, low manager performance. I discussed about the intranet usage and manager's performance. Return investment, slow network is about usage. Resistant about usage. So everything that I put here as the problems really reflects to the issue of the study. As I mentioned it to you, issue of the study is the subject matter that contributes to the problem, like this. Okay? Next. Gaps of knowledge. So if you don't have gap of knowledge, so you don't have PhD. Again, if you don't have gap of knowledge, it's not PhD. In order to distinguish between normal research and gap of knowledge, and sorry, PhD definitely is about gap of knowledge. Normal research do not have gap of knowledge. So why we are actually discussing on the gap of knowledge? Because inconsistency of the findings in the area. So that's very important, my friend. Because of that, that's why we keep continuing doing the same research, because we try to find the answer, the exact answer. Okay? So if you see the statement as relatively little empirical, no attempt to relate or whatever, that refers to gap of knowledge. So where you get gap of knowledge, okay, is from literature review. Again, my friend, it's from literature review. Many of us, I would say that 80% of the student just prepare literature search, not literature review. What is the meaning of literature search? Literature search means you just compile whatever you have from your readings and then you report. That we call that literature search. Literature review is different. Literature review means you do literature search, okay, and then what's next? Okay, you do the synthesis, find the weaknesses of the previous study, find the weaknesses of the previous model, theory or law, at least 3. Then you do reporting, and then you compare, and then you come up with the new things as a gap. So that we call gap of knowledge. If you just report, and then you just, you know what, you compile, you report, compile, report, that we call that literature search. Literature review, you have literature research, then the next step is to do synthesis. Again, I say synthesis, very important. Okay, if you have synthesis, your literature review is not considered as literature review, but I call that as literature search. Not enough to contribute for gaps of knowledge. Okay, how to write gap of knowledge? It's like I propose here. So you can snap in and for your eyes only. Okay, you see, go back. If you see titles, if you see issue, if you see problems, if you see gaps, different things. So don't misunderstood between gaps, between problems, and also issue. Okay? So issue, problems, gaps. And then what's next? Yeah, definitely. Objective. After you clear up, you get the gaps. So another point that you can actually, I would say that guide you to get gap of knowledge is from the article also. Sometimes the authors will provide you at the end of the articles. They will say as it's under of future research plan. That future research plan, I would say that as the, yes, gap of knowledge. So probably the current study focusing on managers' performance in maritime industry, but now you want to focus, probably the author said, focusing on whole staff, for the whole staff, not just focusing on the managers, but the whole staff performance in, let's say, manufacturing industry, let's say. So that becoming, yes, gap of knowledge. But the thought of the authors, okay, the current studies, and then he or she proposed that you can extend the studies to, let's say, other things that probably I would say that will solve the current problem. Okay, so objective we comprise of 2, main objective and also specific objective. Main objective is the titles of your studies. However, specific objective will have not more than 3. I just want to share with you, my friends, specific objective must be not more than 3. 3 is enough to get PhD. 3 objective. Specifically, you mentioned it clearly, and then not more than 3. That's enough. Because we have went through so many proposals, so many theses, and students love to put as many as they can. Sometimes 10, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, 7, and then we ask back, can you achieve this? You know, just, you know what, lump sum everything, put in one sentence as one objective, first objective, second objective, and third objective, done. You can put like this, very simple. And then what's next? After you discuss on objective, definitely the examiner will ask you back, can you justify why your study is focusing on intranet usage? Why your study is focusing on managers' performance? Why your study is focusing on maritime industry? You see what I meant? So don't just put, okay, you're so happy with the title, you're so happy with everything, but the examiner will ask you back and you need to justify why you are doing that. So every single things that you put in your thesis or proposal, you need to justify, and then you have to have the supporting document from the authorized material. Wikipedia is not the authorized We call that not authorized references. Newspapers also not the authorized material. So that's why for us, the best probably come from the journals, from the reports of the government agencies, from anything I would say that, you know what, can provide you fact and figures. Okay? Not from Wikipedia, not from newspaper. Okay? Also, unpublished articles also can become, we call that authorized materials. Okay, so you need to justify. Let's say now, why I'm focusing on internet usage? Because it's high usage in maritime industry, 90%. Okay, side that. Also, why manage performance? Important posts reflecting performance, highly usage of, internet usage by managers every percent. And then why maritime? Because 65% contribution to GDP of Malaysia GDP, nation GDP. So that's why I want to study on this. So see all the important parts, very, very important. So you need to justify. And then what's next? Significance of your study. So you know what? Most of the students, they don't really focus on this. And then we come back, you know what? All the writings really very simple, not really, I would say, that serious. Okay, why the study is very important? Oh, this is can be used by this and this and this and this. And a very, very short explanation. Not enough, my friend. So you need to tell us, in the era of Industrial 4.0, it's no more revolution. It's just Industrial 4.0. IoT, Internet of Things, is no more Internet of Things, is Internet of everything. Okay, same as, you know what, the e-commerce now becoming information commerce. So I hope that you can update your knowledge. Okay, so now you see, in the era of Industrial 4.0s, really, you know what, you need to answer. Your studies is really good for industries or for community or to government agencies. And do not forget, you know what, everything that you do is good for policymakers. Okay, policymakers is the person that can change what happened now and then can improve something. Okay, and then do not forget also, whatever you do right now, yes, to improve or add in value to the new knowledge. So what kind of knowledge? Model, theory, law, techniques. So that the things that I hope that you can justify, clarify, mention it clearly in significance of study. Okay, and then what's next? Scope of study. Many of us confuse between scope of study and limitation. Scope of study, we call that the boundary of your studies. It's not limitations. Don't confuse the meaning of our study is limit to this, this, and that. Yes, that's correct. That we call that scope. But limitation is the, we call that the hurdles that you face while you're doing the research. Limitation is not in chapter 1. It's at the end of the thesis. So you cannot discuss limitation in proposal. Cannot. Because you don't face it. Okay, the hurdles. So for me, you know what? Scope of study definitely is delimitation. Don't confuse, huh? Scope of study is delimitation. Not limitation, delimitation. The boundaries of your studies. In which area? Okay? In what form that you want to focus? So if let's say that right now, if I'm discussing about managers in maritime, it's referring to government servant that have grades of 41 to 54. Private executive to general managers in Malaysia. And then what is the boundaries of usage of intranet? Internal communication usage, application, information sharing, decision making. So that's my scope. If I say about maritime industry, it's about what? It consists of hauliers, port authorities, terminal operators, shipping agent, marine department, and custom department. And seriously, my friend, this is your scope. Okay? And then what's next? Don't confuse with operational definition. Definition and scope is not same. Okay? Operational definitions and definition of term. I understand that a few of you may confuse. You may have a choice whether you want to discuss on operational definition or definition of term. Definition of term come from the vocabulary, not really related to your studies. However, operational definition is your definition given to the current studies. I will define the term used in the research. Right? Say, what is the meaning of intranet usage for my studies? It's about time span, frequency of use. So that operational definition of intranet usage. And this operational definition can be used for measurements in chapter 3 in methodology section. Okay? And operational definitions for manager's performance of my study really relate with effectiveness, efficiency, and quality, and the rest. Okay? Hopefully that you understand what I try to say is operational definition is your definition that you give for your study. However, the definition of term you get from vocabulary. And sometimes don't be surprised, the meaning of managers for them in Oxford, let's say dictionary that consists of ustad, ustazah, probably bishop, headmasters, headmistress. Is it suitable with your studies? No at all. What you meant here is probably different. Okay? For you, probably, you know what, managers is something. That really relate to your studies. Okay, what's next? Review of literature. So review of literature, you need to discuss on the underpinning model. As I said to you, okay, it must comprise of, yes, synthesis, at least 3 model or theory or law. So discuss about that. And then you can come up with something. So that we call the review of literature. Review of literature will contribute you to gap of knowledge. Gap of knowledge, you can discuss whether in chapter 1 or literature review. So that's a school of thought. Sometimes you can place gap of knowledge in chapter 1 after you discuss problem statement. In the problem statement, you may insert gap of knowledge. Or after you discuss or review literature, they have one section shortly discussed on gap of knowledge. Okay? So that also can be done. Okay? That's because the review of literature. And then lastly, this is the things, methodology. And methodology, you need to clearly mention, you know what? You need to start with number 1, with the development of the model or formulation. Okay? Here, for me, is the research model, or we call it as a theoretical framework. If they say that your studies is focusing on, I would say that construct, okay, you need to discuss only on the theoretical framework. However, it's about dimensional, so you need to have conceptual framework. Another, we call that model for measurement. I don't want to discuss of that because you know what, we don't have time. You need to spend more, I would say more, and let's say one day to discuss on that. Okay, we don't have time on that. Okay, so now I just give you the brief idea, the meaning of methodologies here. Okay, and then don't be confused with PLS, SEM, and SEM. So I want to tell you, most of the time, our students not really understand why they are using PLS, SEM, and sometimes SEM. Why? And it seems that, you know what, it's a culture, or we call it training right now. I want to mention it clearly right now. PLS, SEM is good for basic research. Methodology qualitative, not for applied research or quantitative. If you do that, seriously, major correction. You need to redo. Again, PLS, SEM is only good for basic research, fundamental, qualitative. There are so many characteristics why you are using PLS, SEM. Because of what? Problematic with the skewness. Okay? courtesies, abnormal data, not enough data. So that's why we use PLS SEM. There's other things probably I need to discuss. So that's why in methodology, probably, you know what, the organizer probably can have another session of methodology that I can discuss that for 2 days, at least 2 days to discuss methodology. Okay, I don't want to discuss right now. I understand that a few of you may think, oh, lama, already use PLS SEM and not suitable for quantitative in order to determine relationship. It's not. It's so wrong. Okay, many students, 70%, they don't know what they're doing. Okay, because they don't really understand of the concept of PLS SEM and SEM. Okay, so hopefully that, you know what, if let's say that you are wrong on that part, please, yes, correct it. Okay, and then that's methodology. Okay, I think, okay, I just want to show you, this is the example of theoretical framework that consists of hypothesis. I want you, please place the hypothesis. For those who are doing engineering, not doing survey, don't worry about this. You don't have this. Okay, for those who are not doing survey, you need to prepare formula. So here also a formula. You see manager's performance over there. That's we call that as the dependent variable. Dependent variable over there representing y equal to all of this. Actually, it's the same thing, but we put in the, yes, we put charts like this. Okay, you can see that clearly. Okay, like a frameworks. And then this is, we call that concept for frameworks. Okay, and most of the time students forget to put on discuss on this. They said that this is enough, theoretical framework is enough. No, it's so wrong. You need to have this if your study is dimensional. Okay, so never mind, you want to discuss the detail later, you have another session. Okay, this is called the hypothesis. Okay, and then you need to have milestone of your studies, 1 to 3 months, primary studies, blah, 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 until you complete your studies. Okay, so you need to have milestone. For me, it's very, very important to show that you are capable to complete your studies. Okay, and then this is nothing don't see about this. Okay, this is about my studies. I want to show off to you. And seriously, my studies, you know what, that presented at Harvard and Cambridge, already won gold medal at Geneva, at gold medal at Brussels, gold medal at Kuala Lumpur, ITEX, gold medal as IID, and also have been applied by UK companies, Intranet Focus, Northport and Portland, and Alhamdulillah already published in Q1 journals, a few common journals, and so Q2 journals. And if they say that you have something to discuss with me, please do not, I would say that, you know what, hesitate to contact, you know, contact me via this handphone numbers, 012-686-0035. WhatsApp me, okay? Better WhatsApp me in office hour. And if they say that you want to use email, also can, but I'm not really keen to use, you know what, email, but I would prefer you to discuss or anything arise by via handphone numbers, okay? WhatsApp, okay? WhatsApp, you can WhatsApp. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry if they said that something that, you know what, really, not really, I would say what you want to achieve, but I hope that, you know what, in the next round, we can focus on methodology, okay? And give you a floor, okay, to ask me any questions, okay? And reply to me. I want you to, you know, give it feedbacks, okay, to me, whether you are feeling okay or not with this sharing, okay? Thank you very much. Any question, please, okay, ask me directly. I want to hear your voice. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Okay, is there any question to ask the prof? Yeah? Any question?
Any
Okay.
question from the floor, or you can leave the feedbacks from the chat box. your comments or feedbacks. Okay, anything. Okay, about this we call sharing.
Okay. Okay.
Any-
From
Yeah.
Dr. Prof. Sorry,
Yeah.
from California just now. Is there
Okay.
question? Yeah. Okay. For gaps and justifications, yeah. Is it a requirement for us to refer from past 3 years journal?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Okay, gap of knowledge, whatever it is, you know what, every single thing that you put as academic writings, you need to have the, yes, support from the authorized materials. Whatever it is, for me, you know what, last 5 years is, I would say that suitable as the references, okay? So anything that you put in your thesis, you need to have support from the authorized materials, not from Wikipedia, not from newspaper, okay? Thank you.
Okay, one more question. Prof. How many hypotheses that need?
Okay, it depends on your model. Okay, I don't say that, you know what, there's a limit, but okay, it's depending on the variables that you want to study. For me, you know what, for PhD level, at least 5 variables. 5 variables, at least mediating. You need to have mediating, depending, and also independent. Moderating, if you want. But if they say that you want to have independent and dependent variable, is not enough. You need to have mediating at least. Okay, that can consider as we call that at least contributions. Probably is depends. Is depend. Okay, next questions.
Okay. Is there any question?
Sorry.
On the floor?
Any more question from the floor before we wrap up?
Okay. Is that all?
I think they understand right now. I think Amira, I think they're happy with the answers. Happy with that. Okay, and thank you very much, Amira, for organizing the talks. And then, inshallah, you know what? If they say we can see again, okay. And then don't forget to read my books, because you know what? My books will explain everything. Okay, inshallah. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the, yes. Thank you for the, yes, commercial, yes.
Okay. Syukur Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Prof, for your for the fruitful and very informative sharing. Okay, for feedback form, please scan the QR code for the feedback, and also for the postgraduate, if you wish to join the group, please scan our group. And also, okay, for journal publication. Okay, we for Prof on this Saturday, is it? On the 19th of September. Okay, who wish to join? So please, okay, contact the number as given on the screen. Okay. Okay, so if you all need any further questions and all that, please contact Prof by his email as stated on the screen.
Okay, inshallah. Okay, I hope the organizer can share the feedbacks from the
all of the participants here.
Okay, thank you very much, then. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
Receive all very good feedback. Prof, positive feedback.
But I want to see that. I want to see.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.
Okay. Mira, you want to add something?
Okay, okay, thank you, Prof. Inshallah. We will have this session with another dedicated speaker, and inshallah next year we will have another session with Prof. Zaidi. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Hi, admin. How can we join the group?
Yes. You just
The QR code is not working for the registration or for the group.
okay. I will do it first.
Okay. We will share the link. Yeah. Okay. Move what? Oh, this. Okay.
Fine.
Share balik. Apa dia cakap? Please move the cursor. Which cursor?
Dia move the cursor.
Perfect. No.
Imak jangan panjat. Turun, turun. Lagi sekali yang ambil rotan, kau turun. Nak apa panjat?
Cursor you. Ayu.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry. And then this, and then the